Thank you, listeners, for joining us. Today's edition of Elko Live, our weekday radio show featuring community news. And it is time to go outdoors and celebrate our public lands. And boy, do we have a full house of amazing professionals in studio today to talk about a variety of topics. The first thing that I want to mention, we have Leah Garcia here, and she's the outdoor recreation planner for Wells, and she's going to handle some announcements for Gerald Dixon, our district manager for the BLM. But I did want to compliment Gerald and his wild horse specialist and others who were on hand at the county commission meeting on Wednesday, because county commissioners were very supportive and gave high marks to local BLM management. And in fact, our Congressman Mark Amadei was at the same meeting, and the congressman talked about the struggles that this national agency has in meeting so many needs with the multiple use mission, because they simply are underfunded. It's hard to get professionals here because their pay grade does not match that of the professions offered in other areas or in other private sector. So that's a real challenge. And so Gerald's been working diligently to fill some very important jobs locally. Our county commissioners acknowledged that. They also acknowledged the work of the wild horse roundups, which have been controversial, but again, giving full credit to the local agency because they have been diligent in following the Wild Horse Burrow Public Act, dated since 1971. And, just talking about navigating this difficult terrain right now. So again, I just wanted to make sure that the community knows that the local county commissioners, much local support for our local BLM when it comes to wild horses, public lands management. Even our Congressman Mark Amadei is going out to bat. So just thumbs up, Gerald, and your team. That was a great presentation Wednesday at the meeting. And with that, Leah Garcia gets to talk more about ways we can help be stewards of our public lands, Leah, because we've had some issues this summer, unfortunately, right?
Yeah, unfortunately. So a lot of our partners, including the U.S. Forest Service, ourselves, the Duck Valley Tribe, Nevada State Parks, have all received some vandalism of campground feed boxes throughout the summer, and the feed boxes were broken into.
And that's so unfortunate on several different levels. I mean, first of all, this is an honor system, if you will. This is a very small amount of money individually, but collectively, it's used to go right back into these facilities, right, Leah?
Yes, and just because some of our campgrounds are more remote, we don't always have eyes on them. And in these cases, we do ask that other campers or community members please report anything suspicious, or if by chance they witness vandalism occurring, definitely do not confront anyone, though. Just go about your day and just note what you saw, but do not confront anyone, guys.
We do know that there is a special agent who is working on this because, again, it's widespread vandalism at numerous public properties. These are facilities and amenities that we all share and we all enjoy. And so it would seem obvious that someone, a connected group or individual may be doing this. So there is a number to call, right? There is a tip line, and
yes.
I want to make sure you can use that.
Yep. So our See Something, Say Something tip line is 775-861-6550. And our campgrounds that we have on the Elko district that are BLM campgrounds include Tabor Creek, Zanino Jigs Reservoir, Wilson Reservoir, and North Wild Horse Reservoir.
And keep in mind, too, that even if it seems like the amount of money that was taken, because again, it's very, I think it's very affordable to use these facilities. I mean, I think most of the public would agree, but the damage that's done, it's going to probably cost tens of thousands of dollars to repair some of these stations.
Yep. $2,000 each station that gets damaged. So that's really unfortunate. And like you said, the money that is collected from the campground goes directly back into the campground itself. So some of these more popular areas, that's just hurting them.
Okay, so if you see something, say something. Call that tip line, 775-861-6550. I know Operation Game Thief, they wouldn't mind either. Nevada Department of Wildlife, they always field crime reports from things that are happening out on public lands at 1-800-992-3030. You can also download an app on your phone from NDOW for Operation Game Thief that you can report any kind of suspicious activity, because they work closely with the Elko County Sheriff's Office too, so we can get an immediate response out there if necessary. So thank you, Leah, for delivering that message on behalf of the boss, and Gerald Dixon. And I want to make sure that we're also talking about something cool from your neck of the woods over there in the Wells Field office.
Yeah, so we are going to go ahead and hold a National Public Lands Day event. It is going to be September 23rd. So kind of early, putting the word out. It is going to be right here at our local BLM office, which is located at 3900 East Idaho Street. Our event will be from 9 a.m. to 3, and it's going to be in conjunction with the California Trail Center, and it will give the public an opportunity to learn about the vegetation that grows on our public lands and within the state of Nevada. In that arboretum that we have out there, we have more than 12 species of trees and plants that can be found. And the Trail Center is going to provide a 15-minute talk on uses of plants along the trail. Some of the activities include staining of the boundary fence, installing bird boxes, installing signs, vegetation removal. We are also going to hold a art contest for yard art, and it will be yard art that will be made from selected trash found on BLM land.
Oh.
So
This is creative. This is awesome. Yeah.
yeah, and all the art made will be eligible to go ahead and be displayed in the arboretum, so folks can come by and show, their cousins, family, whoever wasn't there on that day, that, oh, we made that. There is a cap on the event, and I believe it is 70 people. We just have a limited number. So if you guys want to RSVP, you can go ahead and call me, Leah Garcia, at 775-753-0273.
All right. I was writing that number down in the Wells office, obviously, but get ready. Mark the calendars for September 23rd. That sounds fun. And I'm sure you can get some artists to do some things, because anytime they can start kind of playing around with found objects. We have a lot of great sculpturers in the community, and people who might just be wanting to give that a try. So very cool, Leah.
Oh, and lunch will be provided. I forgot to mention that.
Ooh, that's always
by
fun.
SNC, so thank you.
Oh, Southern Nevada Conservancy. Yep, and we do have Amanda in the house. Amanda's in the house, and she's brought Mary with her today. But did we get to all your topics?
Yep.
All right.
That was it.
You did a great job, Leah. Thank you for opening up the program today. And, there you are, Amanda. We're going to switch gears a little bit, give you your microphone. Hi, lady. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are we?
Great. It's a wonderful day.
It is.
And it's always nice to talk about not only our public lands, but California Trail Interpretive Center. Hoping that you guys have just had a terrific year already. It's hard to believe it's August.
Yeah, it is. And it almost feels like we're running out of time with the summer. So we're just like putting a bunch of events as much as we can in. So I have some really exciting stuff to bring you today to tell you about some of our upcoming programming. So just to get the ball rolling out at the Trail Center, every weekend we have events going on out there. On Fridays, we're doing our story and craft sessions. And so this, today, actually, I think we're doing a little craft out there about the Pony Express. And then next week, Mary is going to be doing a gold panning program. So I brought Mary here today with me to talk to you guys. She is our new S&C summer hire. And Mary, do you want to tell us a little bit about gold panning?
We're going to switch that microphone right over to her, Mary Juarez. And thank you for being on the program today.
Thank you for having me. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're actually going to read a story, and it's called Gold from the American River. It's really brief. If I would have read the whole story, we would have been there for probably about an hour. But we'll go ahead and just play that audio, kind of go through the slideshow I have for it, and then we're going to go outside. And we have a bunch of different tubs. We have the gold pans, and we're actually going to be spiking sand with pyrite.
Ooh.
Yeah, so
that's fool's gold, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And then they'll be able to take some of that home with them.
You could trade that for some pancakes or marbles or cleaning your room. Something,
yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, free pass cleaning your room.
Oh, yeah.
So what ages are you anticipating seeing come to this, Mary, would you say?
So this is the second time I'll be doing it. The first time we had it, I think the youngest I had was probably like a 2-year-old that was in there. And then we had, couples join in. So it really ranges from, 2 years old to 2 and up. That's pretty much it, yeah.
And you're really teaching them a skill.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the real thing. You're not just playing in the dirt like 2-year-olds love to do, but
Yeah.
Super cool, Mary. Wow. So that's coming right up, and that's something that you get. And you've been with California Trail Center through the summer, right?
Yeah. I've been, I was a hire on in May, and unfortunately my term will end in September.
Oh, we're going to miss you. Maybe
Yeah.
you can come back, yeah?
Hopefully they offered it for me to come back, and fingers crossed I can.
Nice. Are you a student or?
No, I'm on a temp term. I am pregnant right now, so.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes. Oh, so yeah, this is great. Great mom training.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Thank you, and congratulations again. And we look forward to seeing you. And I know that Amanda's going to say great things about you. I'm sure right now she's itching. She's like, give me that microphone.
Yeah, let me brag about our Mary.
Yes. Yeah, she's terrific.
She is. And like she said, these programs are good for toddlers to seniors. Like, we want everybody to come out there. If playing in the mud isn't your thing, but we're still going to be learning about history. So if that's what you like to do, we have all kinds of fun things going on out there at the Trail Center for everybody, for all ages. And these Friday story and craft sessions are free. And then I want to tell you about our s'more and meteor shower party. I'm so excited. The
Perseid?
Thank you.
There are a lot of words I cannot say, but for some reason I can say
you
that
got
one.
that one. We got each other for
yes.
So we're going to be doing that on Thursday at 7:30. We're going to be celebrating National S'mores Day with Nevada Outdoor Schools. And I do believe that they go from like just simple s'mores to gourmet. So you got to come out there and check that out. And as if that's not enough, we'll be watching the meteor shower. So that's going to be super exciting. We'll have like equipment out there to look at the stars and things like that. That is going to be a super fun thing that, again, we are doing on the 10th. That's Thursday at 7:30, and of course, it's going to be free. So come on out there, bring your family, get some s'mores in ya. And then a Cool Canyon evening at Lamoille Canyon. That'll be another opportunity to do some gold panning with us. So that'll be at the Powerhouse Picnic area on the 19th at 6 p.m. So those are just some of our regular programming stuff that we're doing out there. But I do have some very exciting extra stuff to bring you today. So this is our big announcement of our Artist in Residence program today. Applications just went out. So if you guys have friends, family, or yourself are an artist, and that can be from any medium, we want, painters, poets, anything you've got, we want to see it. So we put out the application on our Facebook page, we put it out on our website, or you can just go ahead and call me personally out at the Trail Center. So that phone number is 775-738-1849, just like the Gold Rush. And we want to spend a week with the artist, traveling around on our public lands, let them soak that in, and then they will take that experience and make art from it. And we have a little stipend for them. And so all that information, like I said, can be found on our website, or by calling me directly at the center. You can just ask for Amanda. I'll be taking the lead on that program.
Amanda Halsey is our interpretive naturalist from California Trail Interpretive Center. This is so exciting. And, hopefully it's a tough decision because we have so many great artists, whether from far and wide or from right here at home, Amanda. I mean, you could take a musician out and they could be inspired to compose original music, right?
Yeah, that's absolutely right. Actually, one of the artists in residence from New Mexico was a jazz artist. And so, we'll take anything. We want to see all the different arts. We want to see it.
Oh, so whether you're, as she said, a painter or a potter or a poet, maybe you're a playwright.
Yeah, exactly.
Yay. So find information and applications online. That is great. And again, all these collaborations that you're doing, Amanda, thank you so much for all your outreach. I'm sure it brings so many people into the beautiful interpretive center that may not have discovered it before.
Yeah, definitely. We've got so many people now. I think the pandemic, it really, made people so sad that they couldn't be doing all these things. And so ever since we've been able to open our doors full time, we've been having so much participation from the community and from other affiliates. And so it's just been great just building this big thing with the community and lots of artists and just everything that you can think of. We're doing it out there at the center.
Yep, just like the pioneers who were passing through. Some of them made this place home and others just made memories.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So another opportunity, just want to project ahead a couple of dates to put on the calendar.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do the Save the Date. So this is another thing that I'm taking the lead on, and it's going to be the Wild and Scenic Film Festival. So I'm really, really excited about that. We have rented out the Northeastern Nevada Museum for this, and so we're going to be using the Halleck Bar, and what we're going to be doing is showing 2 hours of documentary type films, a night of conservation and cocktails. So that's going to be in September 30th. We haven't really put out our RSVPs yet for that, so I just want you guys to save the date for now. The theater can hold up to 90 people, and so we will have to cut it off, but this is going to be a free event, so we'll do an RSVP system, and then on the day it'll be a first come first serve that for people that have not RSVP'd or the people that didn't show up. So come on out. We're going to have cocktails, raffles, and conservation films to show, so I'm very, very excited about that at the end of September. And then of course in October we have the annular eclipse event, and we're going to be doing that out at the California Trail Center, so that's going to be October 14th, so that's another one to put on your calendars, and I'll be speaking more about those things as they get closer.
Oh, thanks, Amanda. And these are just great opportunities to enjoy the outdoors, to meet other people who have similar interests. Families are always welcome. These are free events
Yes,
that we
they
get to
are.
enjoy. Yes. And you're introducing us to all the beautiful aspects. And speaking of introducing, I think that if you're not already, I need to introduce you to the Wild Nevada people from PBS Reno, because I think they would really love many of these events that you're doing. So, and they come out on occasion, so it'll be fun to highlight some of the ongoing activities upcoming at the California Trail Center.
Excellent. Yeah, I'd love to.
That would be great, Amanda. Thank you so much for everything you're bringing to the center. I'm sure Paul Brownlee is very pleased with all of your work.
Yeah, I hope so. Yep. We're working hard out there.
Yeah, you are. And again, it was great to meet Mary Juarez, who's the visitor's guide, who we hope to see you back, Mary, and bring your little one, because the Trail Center is a great place to let kids run and play, whether it's outdoors on those trails or to see the elephant and all the other great, beautiful hands-on exhibits. So thank you, Mary. Well, I guess with that in mind, we're going to let Clint kind of, what is that when he's your last at bat, Clint? Is that the saying? Yeah, cleanup. You're batting cleanup for us. Clint Mothershed, I'll have you scoot up really close to that microphone. I'm going to fix my microphone. I'm going to turn so we can actually see each other. There you go. I know you know how to use your microphone.
Well, thanks for having me on, Lori.
We always appreciate seeing Clint Mothershed, our fire mitigation, education, fire trespass investigation specialist from Elko District BLM. And are you taking a breath yet from summer? You have been a busy guy.
We've been fairly busy, yes. The weather the last couple of days has definitely helped me go home a little bit earlier and enjoy my personal life, so that's been appreciated. But just want to let people know we're not out of the woods just because we've got our first real monsoonal push of the year, which is delayed due to El Nino forming in the Pacific. We aren't out of the woods at all. Last Friday alone, we had 7 human-related fires along Highway 93 and Interstate 80, and they all occurred within later in the afternoon, like a 2-hour window, and they were all vehicle-related. So again, it's the number one cause of human-related fires in the state of Nevada throughout the entire state are roadside fires, and it's primarily attributed to bad vehicle maintenance or horrible tires on vehicles. And just when they get exposed to extreme heat, they just tend to fail.
And that's what we're experiencing as a continent. I mean, as a country, as a world, we just have extreme heat happening. I mean, there are extreme changes in weather, right, Clint?
Yeah, it's kind of weird to go from 105 degrees down to the mid 80s or low 80s in August. Usually we expect the trend to increase throughout August slowly, or at least, not go down that much. I'm not complaining, but it's just a stranger thing for us to experience. But all things considered, with El Nino forming, we're expected through October to have above average temperatures and below average precipitation. So let's see what the Farmer's Almanac, if they're right, but they're saying that first full week of October we're supposed to get some significant rain. So let's hope for that. But that's more of a gardener's tool than a something to predict wildfires. So we're looking to get really busy. Hunting season starting up, and because of that, we've gone into fire restrictions. It's going to become the norm. We just have to do it. We see recurring themes, and we notice those themes and how they correlate with climatological factors, be it fuel moisture or just the weather patterns and temperatures. And so stage 1 fire restrictions are in effect, which means for you hunters, you must have a fire in a designated campsite, a fee-paying site. That's the only place you can have like open carbon-based type fire. You can use at the dispersed sites, which aren't inside of a fee-paying site. You can use pressurized gas, be it fuel, white gas, whatever it may be, but something that won't produce sparks or embers. And if you are going to do that, please have a shovel with you. Make sure that in case something happens with your stoves or whatever tipping over and they don't have the automatic shut-off valve on them, that you don't accidentally start a fire. So have a shovel, have some water available, and just please remain vigilant.
Oh, and Clint, this is a serious time because we're seeing the intensity of these fires. The York fire, I believe, right now, California, burned into Nevada. It's had those dangerous fire whirls. I guess the winds within the fire whipping the flames. It's destroying, some critical, habitat. People love those Joshua trees, and we don't know how many have been lost, and that's important habitat too.
Yeah, and it's not even centered or just specifically for drier climates. We're seeing a large fire growth in the timbered areas, Montana, Oregon, Washington. Obviously, everybody's heard about Canada, but that's also going on in the lower 48 as well. So we're not going to be out of the woods till we get significant precipitation. Our fire restrictions are going to be in effect till November 15 unless we experience what we call a season-ending event where we receive enough precipitation for the science to make sense for us to go out of those restrictions. And that's what we're hoping for. So hunters in October aren't freezing while they're out on their hunt. It's definitely enhances the evenings when you're hunting to have a nice wood fire. So we don't plan on keeping them in effect unless we have to.
Okay, Clint.
Yeah.
And I've been telling people because if you're not listening to this program or you just may not understand, but people have said, oh, well, maybe fire season isn't as bad this year. But I said, no, Clint Mothershed explained it's about a month behind. I mean, is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, I think last month before, I had stated that we're over 3 times the normal precipitable amount of water received in various forms for our average water year. So it's Mother Nature kind of helping us out right now, but on the backside of that, if we don't have a significant winter, all these fuels that are the grasses, the annual and perennial grasses, they'll be there. They'll be standing for next year, and then we're going to have to deal with twice the fuel loading that we're experiencing this year. It's when we see the big seasons. This is similar to 2005, and our first large fire was on August 5th. And it was over by Midas, and that's exactly where we're in the critical fuel stuff. We're in extreme fire behavior as far as our adjective rating indices go, and it's on the western side of our district. We did receive a lot of precipitation, so everything's kind of stalled out, but it's going to get back to that critical threshold again.
Right. As you've described here, the green up's complete, the vegetation's curing, and so that will, precipitate the trend. I mean, that is just going to continue.
Yep.
And then we get these strong winds, and we're also on the verge of more thunderstorms. I guess with the monsoonal moisture, that's wet, but then we get dry lightning.
We can definitely, you never know how the monsoons are going to track. Sometimes they'll track up and they'll hit the state line between Nevada and Utah, and they will stay on the east side of that, and we will get the drier lightning influence. We've experienced it where it kind of uses the spine of the Ruby Mountains, and everything on the east side gets wet, and everything on the west side, receives lightning. So we never really know. And if it's a weaker monsoonal push, we might get enough moisture to come up here, but it might not be enough to actually rain. But it might be enough to form storms and produce lightning. So
on the lee side of those mountains, yeah. I mean, it's all typical geology 101, right?
It is. Yep.
So we want to make sure that we're emphasizing all the things. Again, 7 human-caused fires just this month?
Just last Friday, within 2 hours of each other.
Just last Friday, just this Friday. Okay.
Yeah.
So.
And one of them was one failed tire on a vehicle we don't know. It started 5 fires within 3/4 of a mile. And then the other ones were over by Beowawe and Dumpy, closer to where expecting to get those types of fires occurring. So it's summertime. It's an increased traffic load on the interstate and the highways, and I think all in all, the public's been doing a great job as far as doing what they can to help prevent these types of fires from happening. I think I would have to say we're below average this year. Now, I don't know if it correlates with the amount of precipitation we got and Mother Nature's help, but it's appreciated either way from my standpoint.
Well, and a lot of us do remember, I mean, there's some big fires close to home that stand out. Lamoille Canyon, that's certainly the heartbreaker. We do know that during the fair, not long ago, a lot of us were sitting in the stands when there was someone who had started a huge fire out on Last Chance that spread quickly, and that was from a burn barrel, right? So
Yep.
It's important to emphasize.
Yep. And then on Wildfire Awareness Night at the Silver State Stampede, which was a huge success this year, but about 4 or 5 years ago, Wildfire Awareness Night, right back there on Last Chance Road, we had another fire related to a vehicle that got high-centered off the road, and they tried to get unstuck, and their vehicle eventually combusted due to all the grass that was underneath it, and that turned into a pretty big fire. It threatened some homes, threatened firefighters. They were in some pretty precarious positions. So, again, just for the public to know, just please be diligent when you're out on the rangelands, enjoying everything. And if you want to know more about the specifics and fire restrictions, you can go to Nevada Fire Info. They do have an interactive map. You can zoom in. You can click on Wild Horse Reservoir if you want to know what they have going on, which right now is limited in just based off of weather. So if the weather is nice and calm, you're still allowed to have fires there. But when it comes to BLM lands, you have to go to a fee-paying site to have actual wood fire.
Okay. And obviously, Clint, is there anything left on your list?
We got upcoming events. We got the Elko County Fair. We may have a booth. It depends on our fire load at the time, but we will definitely try to participate in the parade. And then we have the Carlin Car Show later in August, and beginning of September we have the Elko Car Show. So still events happening, quite a few, I think. And then on top of that, just to remind the public again that debris burning is closed. Since we went into fire restrictions, it's when the county closed open burning, and that first week, the county as a whole kind of experienced some growing pains with that, and the county was fairly busy responding to fires, just people trying to burn debris at their house that didn't realize that we were out of the open burning period.
Clint Mothershed is our fire mitigation, education, fire trespass investigation specialist, and probably just a good place to close on that topic, Clint, is just to remind people that you're just one of many collaborators, but we really appreciate our public lands agency, just all the federal resources. There's no way that the state of Nevada could simply take on, a few of these fires could bankrupt the state. I mean, these are huge, expensive endeavors, and the fires have to be stopped.
They are, yes, they do have to be stopped, and they are expensive, especially when you start using aircraft or crews, 20-person crews. It gets very expensive, and it's the unfortunate part of my job. If someone decides to neglect what the fire restrictions state, they can be held accountable, and they will be expected to help pay for the suppression costs on that fire.
All I think about is what happened in Humboldt County with the Paradise Fire.
It's happened. I've recovered on a couple fires this year. They were unfortunate events, but they were definitely negligent in their actions on public lands. And so once I do my investigation, it goes to the Department of Justice ultimately, and they make the decision, and it's out of my hands at that point. But so it's just easier to be safe and enjoy yourself without a bunch of fires or wood fires out on our public lands for the time being. Subject to change if we get a lot of precipitation.
Thank you, Clint.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So no fireworks, that's a given, but obviously no open burning right now. And then check your developed campsite for current conditions. If there happens to be a ranger nearby, that's a bonus. And then our local agency is one of the many collaborators. Clint, I know you'd be there front and center if we did have a big situation in Spring Creek, Kittredge, any of these outlying urban interface areas, if we needed to evacuate. You're involved in planning and with the Weather Service and local fire protection.
Oh, yes. All the agencies, they do scenarios in which they plan for this type of event. We're hoping it does not happen, but you can never say never. Given proximity, just the number of homes out in Spring Creek now, for example, at some point it becomes inevitable. It's just the odds are in favor of that actually happening. So I am pleased with how Spring Creek, the residents of the community have taken it upon themselves to help clear their lots. I've noticed a significant increase in people doing that over the last 4 years, and it's greatly appreciated. The other agencies, we all do everything together interagency as much as we can. Our responses are interagency. We do some trainings together interagency to help each other out to get everybody qualified per the standards that we must meet, and those relationships are so valuable. Things wouldn't be so efficient if they didn't happen. So they'll continue that way for the time being, at least, and it's great. It helps get the closest resources to the fire the quickest and most efficiently.
So just putting in a plug, hire local when you can, because we're all good neighbors.
It helps.
It does help, Clint.
Local
Thank
knowledge
you.
is valuable, very valuable.
You've been a great neighbor to us and fire professional, and we appreciate all the relationships. Well, with that, I guess we kind of went a little bit over today, but we got started a little late, so it's fine. We got a lot of information in. Anything that the boss, wanted to add today, or no, we're all good. So we appreciate your time, listeners. We thank all of our guests today. The Elko BLM manages your public lands in the beautiful backcountry and the great outdoors and all the species and multiple use, from extraction to recreation. Gerald Dixon is our local manager, and Leah Garcia is the outdoor recreation planner for the Wells District. Amanda Halsey is the interpretive naturalist, along with Mary Juarez, visitor's guide from California Trail Interpretive Center. I'd like to thank the Nature Conservancy for their active role in conservation and education here in northeastern Nevada, and our very own Clint Mothershed too, so for his work in fire mitigation, education, and investigation. I think we got it in. It's a great weekend, everybody. Get out and enjoy. And thanks for listening to Elko Live today here on KELK.